Thank you for watching the Alternate News Network. This station is in no way affiliated with mainstream news media stations that want us to think they are bringing us television truth, while ignoring public expectations, or are better known as butt wipe. Welcome to the program. This is Diane and I will be your news anchor this evening. I hope that you will take a few minutes to watch this special feature edition about the health dangers of fluoride. Yes, I said fluoride. Most people have been told that fluoride is one of the great public health victories of the century. I would like to share with you a list of reasons why this is truly not the case. This is only a short list. A detailed report is linked in the description. Please, you be the judge. First, fluoride is not an essential nutrient. No disease has ever been linked to a fluoride deficiency. Humans can have perfectly good teeth without fluoride. Fluoridation is not necessary. Most Western European countries are not fluoridated, and have experienced the same decline in dental decay as the U.S. Fluoridation's role in the decline of tooth decay is in serious doubt. The largest survey ever conducted in the U.S., over 39,000 children from 84 communities, by the National Institute of Dental Research showed little difference in tooth decay among children in fluoridated and non-fluoridated communities. Where fluoridation has been discontinued in communities from Canada, the former East Germany, Cuba, and Finland, dental decay has not increased, but has actually decreased. There have been numerous recent reports of dental crises in U.S. cities such as Boston, Cincinnati, and New York City, which have been fluoridated for over 20 years. There appears to be a far greater inverse relationship between tooth decay and income level than with water fluoridation levels. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has now acknowledged the findings of many leading dental researchers that the mechanism of fluoride's benefits are mainly topical, not systemic. Since swallowing fluoride is unnecessary, there is no reason to force people, against their will, to drink fluoride in their water supply. Despite being prescribed by doctors for over 50 years, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has never approved any fluoride product designed for ingestion as safe or effective. The U.S. fluoridation program has massively failed to achieve one of its key objectives, which is to lower dental decay rates, while holding down dental fluorosis, mottled and discolored enamel, a condition known to be caused by fluoride. Dental fluorosis means that a child has been overdosed on fluoride. A study in Mexico has shown a linear correlation between the severity of dental fluorosis and the frequency of bone fractures in children. The level of fluoride put into water, 1 part per million, is up to 200 times higher than normally found in mother's milk. There are no benefits, only risks, for infants ingesting this heightened level of fluoride at such an early age. Fluoride is a cumulative poison. On average, only 50% of the fluoride we ingest each day is excreted through the kidneys. The remainder accumulates in our bones, pineal gland, and other tissues. If the kidney is damaged, fluoride accumulation will increase, and with it, the likelihood of harm. Studies from China show a lowering of IQ in children associated with fluoride exposure. In the first half of the 20th century, fluoride was prescribed by a number of European doctors to reduce the activity of the thyroid gland for those suffering from hyperthyroidism, overactive thyroid. With water fluoridation, we are forcing people to drink a thyroid-suppressing medication which could, in turn, serve to promote higher levels of hypothyroidism, underactive thyroid, in the population, and all the subsequent problems related to this disorder. Such problems include depression, fatigue, weight gain, muscle and joint pains, increased cholesterol levels, and heart disease. I know this for a fact as I am a victim, and needless to say, I am mad as hell. Some of the early symptoms of skeletal fluorosis, a fluoride-induced bone and joint disease that impacts millions of people in India, China, and Africa, mimic the symptoms of arthritis. Few if any studies have been done to determine the extent of this misdiagnosis, and whether the high prevalence of arthritis in America is related to our growing fluoride exposure, which is highly plausible. The causes of most forms of arthritis such as osteoarthritis are unknown. A review of national cancer data in the U.S. by the National Cancer Institute revealed a significantly higher rate of bone cancer in young men, in fluoridated versus unfluoridated areas. Once fluoride is put in the water, it is impossible to control the dose each individual receives. This is because some people, manual laborers, athletes, diabetics, and people with kidney disease, drink more water than others. We also receive fluoride from sources other than the water supply. Other sources of fluoride include food and beverages processed with fluoridated water, fluoridated dental products, mechanically deboned meat, cheese, and pesticide residues on food. Fluoridation is unethical because individuals are not being asked for their informed consent prior to medication. This is standard practice for all medication, and one of the key reasons why most of Western Europe has ruled against fluoridation. As one doctor aptly stated, no physician in his right senses would prescribe for a person he has never met, whose medical history he does not know, a substance which is intended to create bodily change, with the advice, take as much as you like, but you will take it for the rest of your life, because some children suffer from tooth decay. It is a preposterous notion. The chemicals used to fluoridate water in the U.S. are not pharmaceutical grade. Instead, they come from the wet scrubbing systems of the superphosphate fertilizer industry. These chemicals, 90 of which are sodium fluorosilicate and fluorosilicic acid, are classified hazardous wastes contaminated with various impurities. In summary, we hold that fluoridation is an unreasonable risk. That is, the toxicity of fluoride is so great and the purported benefits associated with it are so small, if there are any at all, that requiring every man, woman, and child in America to ingest it borders on criminal behavior on the part of governments. Conclusion. When it comes to controversy surrounding toxic chemicals, invested interests traditionally do their very best to discount animal studies and quibble with epidemiological findings. In the past, political pressures have led government agencies to drag their feet on regulating asbestos, benzene, DDT, PCBs, tetraethyl-lead, tobacco and dioxins. With fluoridation we have had a 50-year delay. Unfortunately, because government officials have put so much of their credibility on the line defending fluoridation, and because of the huge liabilities waiting in the wings, if they admit that fluoridation has caused an increase in hip fracture, arthritis, bone cancer, brain disorders or thyroid problems, it will be very difficult for them to speak honestly and openly about the issue. But they must, not only to protect millions of people from unnecessary harm, but to protect the notion that, at its core, public health policy must be based on sound science, not political expediency. They have a tool with which to do this. It's called the precautionary principle. Simply put, this says, if in doubt, leave it out. This is what most European countries have done, and their children's teeth have not suffered, while their public's trust has been strengthened. It is like a question from a Kafka play. Just how much doubt is needed on just one of the health concerns identified above, to override a benefit, which when quantified in the largest survey ever conducted in the U.S., amounts to less than one tooth surface out of 128 in a child's mouth? For those who would call for further studies, I say fine. Take the fluoride out of the water first, and then conduct all the studies you want. This folly must end without further delay. For much more information that I can describe here, please visit www.fluoridealert.org, and please share this information. Thank you and good night. This is Diane, at Alternative News Network, wishing you all health and happiness. Until next time.